Ever look up at the sky during a solar eclipse and just think, wow, that's cool? Well, for thousands of years in ancient China, an event like that could mean something far more terrifying: the end of an empire. This wasn't just superstition. It was a deeply ingrained political and religious doctrine known as the Mandate of Heaven. So, what exactly was the Mandate of Heaven? Imagine it as a divine right to rule, but with a major catch. Heaven, the supreme cosmic force, would grant a just and worthy family the right to govern China. This family would establish a dynasty, and as long as they ruled with wisdom, fairness, and virtue, they would keep this divine approval. The emperor was even called the Son of Heaven, acting as the crucial link between the celestial realm and the human world. Under a good ruler, the empire would prosper, harvests would be plentiful, and the people would be happy. This was a clear sign that heaven was pleased. But here's the twist. The mandate wasn't a lifetime guarantee. If a dynasty became corrupt, if the rulers grew selfish and oppressive, or if they failed to maintain order and prosperity, heaven would show its displeasure. And how did it do that? Through cosmic warnings and natural disasters. Suddenly, that solar eclipse wasn't just a cool astronomical event. It was a terrifying omen. The sun, the ultimate symbol of the emperor and yang energy, being devoured by darkness, was seen as a direct cosmic condemnation of the ruling house. And it wasn't just eclipses. Comets, streaking across the night sky, were seen as celestial messengers bearing bad news. Unexplained celestial phenomena, like guest stars, what we now know as supernova or novae, appearing suddenly, were interpreted as signs of cosmic imbalance, reflecting the chaos on Earth. These weren't just abstract ideas. They were recorded meticulously by imperial astronomers. Why? Because their job wasn't just to map the stars, but to read the will of heaven. A bad report from the Astronomical Bureau could shake the foundations of the throne. The warnings weren't limited to the sky. On the ground, a sudden string of earthquakes, devastating floods, or widespread famines were also interpreted as heaven withdrawing its support. The logic was simple. If the Son of Heaven could uneven ensure the stability of the earth beneath his feet or feed his people, how can he claim to have a divine right to rule? These disasters weren't just unfortunate events. They were political crises. They fueled public discontent and gave ambitious warlords and rebels the perfect justification to rise up. They could claim that they weren't just trying to seize power. They were fulfilling a new mandate of heaven to overthrow a corrupt dynasty and restore order. This cycle played out again and again throughout Chinese history. Let's take the fall of the Ming Dynasty in the 17th century. The final decades of Ming rule were plagued by a series of disasters. There were severe droughts and famines, particularly in the north, leading to widespread suffering and peasant rebellions. Adding to this, astronomical records from the time show observations of sunspots, seen as blemishes on the sun, as perfection, and other unusual celestial events. For the people living through this, the evidence was overwhelming. The Chongzhen Emperor, the last ruler of the Ming, was clearly losing heaven's favor. These cosmic and earthly signs provided the perfect ideological fuel for rebels like Li Zicheng and eventually the Manchu invaders who would go on to establish the Qing dynasty. They successfully argued that the mandate had passed from the Ming, and it was now their turn to rule. The Mandate of Heaven was a brilliant and powerful concept. It gave legitimacy to rulers, but it also held them accountable. It was a constant reminder that their power was not absolute and was conditional on their virtue and competence. A strange star in the sky wasn't just a curiosity, it was a performance review from the highest authority in the universe. It shows how deeply our ancestors connected their lives on Earth with the grand, mysterious movements of the cosmos. So the next time you see a meteor shower or a solar eclipse, take a moment. Think about how for centuries, an event just like that could be seen as a sign that a powerful empire was about to crumble, all because it had lost the mandate of heaven. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from history. See you next time.